Hello folks and welcome back to Rome Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 62 of my Imperial campaign where I'm playing as the Julii. And by this point in the campaign, I gather that if you are still watching, then you are not of the impatient sort. So I probably don't have to explain too much why I've been kind of putting off the Civil War. It's pretty obvious, I think, but just to kind of go over the details here. The other Roman factions have urban cohorts, and I do not. I think that's like the main thing that you can kind of boil things down to. You know, if we're going to talk about what makes me nervous, it's not just their numbers. You know, it's not just these big old hunkin' swarms of armies that the Brudi are fielding. It's the fact that they have urbans. In fact, I don't know if we have any vision on any Brudi armies. Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm sure I've seen urbans in their armies. What do we have here? We got some legionaries. Stadi, there we go. Early legionaries, velites. Alright, so nothing. Legionaries. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, they got urbans. And they look terrifying, don't they? And I can't train them. I do have a huge city, a tier 5. At least one of them here in Patavium. Now, this settlement has been spec'd out entirely for ranged troops. So, archers, artillery, all that good stuff, but no infantry, right? Arretium has been my infantry settlement, and I can't get it up to... It's just been stuck. It has 1% pop growth, 18,000 population, but since I'm just training so many people, you know, legionaries mostly, but then lately also Arcani, it's been difficult for me to grow this settlement up to the huge settlement level. So I'm going to be building some irrigation here to increase that to increase that population. What's that going to give me? An extra 0.5? Yeah, that's going to give me an extra 0.5, so that'll be a 1.5. Once that's finished, but that's going to take 6 turns to build. You know. So that's, yeah, it's going to be a while. What about Massilia? Massilia has been somewhat spec'd out for infantry, correct? It's a large city, but I never did build the army barracks, so it might be a good idea to build those. But yeah, again, the pop growth is 0%, but this one is at 21,000, whereas Arretium's at 18,000. So, you know, it's closer, but we need to get that those you know, that growth back, right? And I could do that. I stopped at the tier 1, so I never did build the tier 2 farm upgrades here. So there's room for that to grow. What other options do I have? What about Cordoba? Where are you at? Are you huge? You are a huge city. And I'm getting a forum here for money. Okay. And I can train the legionaries, the Praetorians, of course, Arcani, the legionary cav, which is very nice. I wasn't going to count on Cordoba for military production because it's kind of out of the way, but gosh, I mean, it's one of my only huge cities, so it's tempting to kind of switch focus from economy over to military, and specifically to infantry. What about Palma? Where's Palma at? Large city, 2.5 pop growth, okay. But, okay, yeah, I exterminated the people, so it's at 9,000. So it's going to be a while before it gets up to 24,000. Yeah, right. I wonder, you know, we might just have to count on Praetorians, you know? They're close. They're close to having the stats of an urban. Let's compare them, actually. Let's get in here and see what the dealio is. So the Praetorians are coming from... What I like about them, it's kind of a cool thing. You know, because the difference between the Praetorians and the urbans is so minimal. But I like that the Praetorians aren't coming from the barracks line. They're coming specifically from the... From this. Are they not? Or no? Are they coming from the barracks? They are. For some reason I thought that every large city could train Praetorians. and it was coming from the administrative building. Okay, I was completely wrong about that. I thought that that was the case. But no, it just comes from the barracks line. Okay, that makes more sense, but I thought that that was a cool, unique thing about the Praetorians, but nope, I was wrong. So the Praetorians do come from the barracks line, and they are, of course, just one tier below the Urbans. So if we look at them, what's the difference here? So melee attack of 12, missile attack of 16, defensive 23. So 12, 16, 23, 14, 18, 24. So 2 more attack, 2 more missile attack for the Urbans, and 1 more defense for the Urbans, which is substantial. You know, that's not a small difference. But if we were to compare these stats to a legionary, which is what I'm mostly fielding right now, melee attack goes from 9 to 14. So that's a big difference. Missile attack, 13 to 18. That's a big difference. And defense of 22 to 24. So that's not as big of a difference, but based on just that, you know, melee attack and missile attack, that's a big difference. Now, I'm assuming that the morale is also different as well. Yeah, good morale, excellent morale. All right, so yeah, it's probably higher, right? Good stamina, that's going to be the same, correct? Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be rough if I really do run into a lot of Urbans. Now, the plan was to... The reason why I'm building or training so many legionaries right now is because, you know, I've been spending so much time trying to catch up and to get to a point where I feel like I have enough armies to start this war. And to do that, I just needed more numbers, not so much quality. And since it takes 2 turns to train Urbans and Praetorians, I figured, all right, let's just go legionaries. It's a good middle ground. They take 1 turn to train, and I can get these armies built up quickly. And then the idea was that there's going to be an initial blitz where I can kind of take as much as I want, as much as I feel like I can take, and then hold in the initial turn or the initial stage of the Civil War. And that plan of that initial blitz is going to be to take Italy in essentially 1 turn if I can. Might take 2 turns, but yeah, 1 or 2 turns to take Tarentum, Croton, Capua, and Rome. And since it's so lightly defended, I think I can do that. Of course, the Senate does have 2 armies, but they're old-fashioned armies. They might have a unit or 2 of post-Marian. Yeah, they do have like early legionaries, but actually that's the first cohort. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so they have the Eagle standard that does raise the morale of nearby units. That's cool. I'm looking forward to taking Rome so that I can train my own first cohorts for the legionaries and early legionaries. That's going to be pretty neat. But other than that, they might just have all pre-Marian troops, which means that I can just kind of stomp them, I think. So, you know, yeah, so I think that the idea would be to siege Rome with 1 army, just to make sure that when I attack the other 2 armies, they can't retreat back into Rome, and then attack the other 2 armies with 2 extra armies of my own. So that would be dedicating 3 armies to take on just Rome itself. But then, of course, the other 2 armies can split off and, you know, take Capua or whatever. Whereas 1 army can, yeah, just come down to Tarentum, I think, and take Tarentum. In fact, I mean, they're so lightly defended that I wouldn't even need a full stack to take each of these settlements. So I guess I am overdoing it, but I think that it's still, it's fine, I suppose. So yeah, I think I can take Italy in then 1 turn. And then my army that's stationed in Palma can sail on over. They can position themselves so that they can take Keralis in 1 turn as well, the same turn that we're taking these settlements. And then I have an extra army that's ready to go. I guess I may as well bring it to Palma just to stage it there, because they are ready. I don't need both of these armies here in Iberia. You know, if the Scipii can muster some fleets to get some troops onto Iberia, then that might get a little bit dodgy, but I mean, as long as I can intercept them with my own boats, we might be okay. And it's going to be curious to see where the Scipii are headed, you know, because I'm going to be, like I said, attacking Keralis, Capua, as soon as I can attack Sicily as well. So would the Scipii really be thinking, all right, let's attack Iberia? Or would they be thinking, no, let's focus on this stuff? It's hard to say because the entire counterattack of the Scipii is going to be based on their fleets, right? It's all going to be about where can their navies get their troops to. And that's, to me at least, unknown because I don't have the experience in this game. So yeah, I don't know what they would prioritize. Their homelands here in Capua and Sicily to an extent, or something that's like closer as well. You know, they have an army here. Would they think, hey, let's pop on over to Iberia because there's only one legion here belonging to the Julii. So yeah, it's a little interesting. I'm tempted to think that since most of their strength is over here way out into the east, I'm tempted to think that they would just be attacking the closest Julii settlements that they can kind of set their eyes on, which would be at that point in time, that would be perhaps Capua or, you know, I don't know, Messana or whatever, and Sicily, whatever is closest, right? That's kind of my thinking. And if that's the case, then yeah, Iberia should be fine just with one stack. After some time, I might think, okay, looks okay. Maybe I can nip on down and take Tingi or something, depending on how things look. So that's the idea with that. The Scipii, as long as my navies can do their jobs, which isn't, that's not an, yeah, I'm a little behind on that. I am building boats here in Palma. Am I building boats anywhere else? Might just be Palma. Yeah, it's been tough. I need to beef this fleet up a bit more. And it's been tough because I've just been training cav units in Ariminum and siege equipment here in Patavium. So I haven't been able to, I don't have the resources. I suppose when I take these other settlements, then I'll have more places to train stuff. So those are options. Yes, yes. And Uvenum as well, they finally teched up so that they can train legionaries as well. But again, large city and 0% pop growth, 18,000 population. Pretty much identical to Arretium. Am I right about that? Yeah, it's very, very close. Like off by like 100 people or something. Yeah. So here in Uvenum, I suppose as soon as this armor is finished, I should switch on over to crop rotation and get those pop growth back up again. Maybe Forum, just, you know, there's money in that at least. I don't know. I think there's, for a place that doesn't have, I don't know, I might make more money off of farm income. Maybe not. Base farming level of 2%. Maybe I'll make more off of trade. Is there anything I'm trading here? What does Uvenum have? I wish this broke it down from exports and imports instead of making me look at the map and try to determine what is here. I know it's not like impossible, but you have to kind of like look hard sometimes to go, all right, looks like there is nothing here in the province of Noricum. So I think there's no trade goods here. So whatever I'm making off of trade, such as the roads and the forums, is going to be from import stuff. So maybe just getting the farmland, even though it's a 2% base farming level, maybe that'll be better, but yeah, something to keep in mind. I think that looking at my money, I'm, spent all my money. So I'm guessing that I'm at the end of this turn and that I ended the last episode so that I didn't have to fight these rebel battles. But here we are, it's time to fight these rebel battles. So yeah, we get some brigands here. Looks like naked fanatics and 2 warbands. And I have gathered some troops up. So let's go here. And let's go here. And fine. And there we go. Piece of cake? Piece of cake. Oh, well, so much for a piece of cake. Looks like we got ourselves a giant hill right in front of us. Like, that's a steep ass hill, my goodness. And as per usual, this is, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do that. And, wait, why are you guys group 3? What did I... I'm just losing it. All right, let's go you there, and then let's fix your groups as well. There we go. All right, let's see if we can get around them so that I don't have to just march right uphill into them. That's a steep ass hill. I wish I could tilt my camera up. That's so. I know. I complain about it all the time. Not all the time. Just there's actually not that many steep hills in this game. It seems like a lot of times it's very flat. It just feels so restrictive to not have my camera tilted, or be able to tilt it up. Oh, those sneaky buggers! I think are they trying to cut me off? They would be wise to, but I don't know if they're able to do it. And I don't have... My only ranged troops in this army are my Javcav. Not the worst thing, but yeah. Doesn't feel great not having archers. Oh well. I have now brought the main body of my force on even ground. And then I'm bringing my Javcav over these rocks, or around these rocks, so that they can put some pressure onto the flanks of the enemy. Oops, oh. And it looks like they might be charging at us now. So let's get some war cry going here, and then here. And hopefully we get enough war cry in. There we go. Let's get a little charge in there and then there. May as well get a little flank in on them. And yeah, as long as, if they just want to attack piecemeal, one unit at a time, that is fine by me. You gotta get a little charge in and go off of guard mode. That looks good. And let's get the general involved as well, so that we can run them down. Perfect. And then let's get these Javcav coming around. And then, yeah, you guys get back. And then you guys get back as well. Line up. Run please, and run please. And if they're still routing, I can confidently send my Javcav in there. Let's get another war cry in. It looks like we might not get enough time. Alright, let's go in there. And let's get one of these units over here. And then let's get my Cav around this side. Let's get the Arcani sent into the flanks here, and Warband can come on in. Cav can run these guys down. You guys can run them down as well. We just have to break those fanatics, and that is the battle. So did we lose 47 men? No shit, man. Okay. Yeah, it's too bad we lost that many. I shouldn't have sent the Arcani in anyway. That was a waste. That was a waste of troops, because now I have to get that unit retrained, and I can only retrain them in... Is it tier 4? I need to know these things. What am I doing? What am I doing? Do this, this, this. There we go. Is it a tier 4 Jupiter settlement? That's Ceres, Bacchus, Jupiter, Arcani. Yeah, it's tier 4. Yeah, that's pretty exclusive. That makes them tough or hard to get. Oh well. Yeah, so I can only train Arcani in a handful of settlements right now. Okay, and I was wondering about this too, because it seems like it took a while. Like, obviously, this was my capital city way back in the day. And my initial plan, if you recall, was to make these settlements Jupiter settlements, knowing that in the future there's going to be corruption here when I do change my capital to a different place. And for a while there, I was not detecting any corruption. It was like, seems like it was, taking some time. And I was thinking, gosh, did I just waste like my Jupiter temples? Like, should I have gone with Ceres, for instance, for faster recruitment? Or faster growth? And looking back, I will say, if I had a chance to play a Julii campaign over again, knowing how grindy it can be, it's a funny thing because, I read the guides, I watched the guides, and there's so much dialogue that's being put into the, how tough it can be to maintain public order, because squalor is not capped in this game. it just goes up and up and up, and it's so difficult to maintain populations and on and on. And maybe that's true for full map conquest. You know, if you're really just going for the entire map, it probably can be quite difficult to manage these high populations. I don't know. It seems like to me you can just let a settlement revolt and then attack it again and then exterminate again. But yeah, maybe that does get pretty tedious if you have to do that over and over and over again. However, if you're just playing a long campaign, in my experience, just in this campaign and also in my Egypt campaign, it seems like having some pop growth actually isn't a bad thing, you know? As I just discussed, you know, I'm looking at a 1% pop growth here in Aretium. I'm in a large city. Like, I got room to grow here, you know? You know, 0% in the Uvenum. I know, we already went over this, I get it, but like, I'm just saying that, yeah, it's like, I feel like, you know, looking back on the decisions made, right? And of course I didn't know any better, so I'm not being too hard on myself here. But if I were to give advice, if you're watching this, if you've never played a Julii campaign, I would say just go Temple of Ceres everywhere in the beginning. You don't need to go to a tier 5 series, you know? You don't need to get that everywhere, maybe. But just to get a good boost going, and then you can always respec. You know, once you have your pop growth where it's at, you know, you can always spec into Bacchus or Jupiter depending on what you need. But yeah, just kind of go in series everywhere just to really get that growth going, because that's something that's unique, right? That's something that the Julii have that the other factions don't. The Brudii and the Scipii don't have that growth building. I think I'm correct in saying that. Of course, they have their own advantages, and you could make the argument that they have better temples than the Julii. But having a growth temple is a unique thing, and I think that I didn't use that as well as I could have. I think I could have gone more all in on the growth, and then, as I just said, respec. You know, then say, all right, I need Jupiter for the anti-corruption, or I need Bacchus for the. I like having the agent retinues that you get from Bacchus, and Bacchus also does give some good stuff for morale and leadership. There's a double-sided sword with that, but there is with everything, I think, in this game. I think that it's the same thing with Jupiter, where you can get good stuff from Jupiter, of course, but also you can get like too stern or strict, where your guys just turn into assholes, and there's difficulties in that as well. So there's a double-sided sword with each of these decisions, but going series, I don't know if there is like a double-sided sword. I'm trying to think of all the retinue that comes from series. I know you get increased chances of having kids from series, and I do also think you get the doctor from series as well, which is again is increased chance of having children, as well as casualty replenishment. I think I might be wrong about that, but just having the increased chances of having children, again, early game, that seems very powerful. So from series, you're getting pop growth and you're getting additional future generals, right? Now, it's going to take some time for those children to grow up into, useful family members. But, 16 years, 2 turns per year, hey, it's not so bad, getting those units, getting those men, governors, generals out onto the field towards the early mid game. Yeah, it seems like it's okay, right? So yeah, series seems like a good idea. And the fact that the corruption here, I mean, I've had Trier as my capital for some time now, and the corruption's at only 214%. 212 to 14. Okay, that's not that bad. Now, does that mean I'm going to destroy my Jupiter temples? No, I'll keep them for now. If we're getting corruption, I'll keep my temples, sure. But just going back to the beginning of the campaign, I probably would just go series. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. All right, let's keep squashing brigands. Let's drop a save, and I think that there's some brigands up here. Yes, there are. What do we got? Peasants. Nice. And a rebel general. What do we have? Archers, spears, cav. Good enough. We don't have any legionaries, which is weird, but good enough. Do we even need these people? Who are you? What's in the garrison? I don't know. I don't care. It's fine. It's all peasants and a rebel general. What a weird Men, follow me with your pitchforks. Let's go. Sure.
Reinforcements are here.
Don't,
Send them to fight.
Don't
Dishearten the enemy.
Don't get too excited. It's just a couple peasants. It's not a big deal. Now look at that. This is a proper Rome Total War map right here. Just wide open. Basically no features. They put a rock there. I like it. I like it when they just put a rock in there. Like, that counts, right? That's a feature. That makes things interesting. Yeah, sure. Sure it does. All right, my archers are shooting. And the peasants are dying. Oh, these poor fucking guys. Like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this to yourself? Why would you do this to yourself? All right, I mean, yeah, you can skirmish a bit. Yeah, skirmish. Play with the peasants. Yeah, throw your javelins at the peasants. Yep. Yep, some more javelins. You know what? Yeah, there you go. You get a little charge and you can go after them. You can go after them. And yep, you guys can get back. Don't get caught by the peasants. There we go. There we go. All right, let's not get caught by the general actually. Let's try to get away. Get away from the general. Try to lure him back to the archers if we could. What are you guys doing? You psychos? What are you doing? I did not tell you to do that. It's a good thing these peasants don't have spears, because otherwise you guys would be screwed. Alright, let's move these guys back up. Try to get the Velites back in front of my men. It looks like we might be able to bait the general into charging us. He's going after my Javcavs. Let's get my Javcav back here. And is he going after my town watch? Oh, my poor town watch. Yeah, make sure you guys are shooting at the general, please, and thank you. There you go. And yeah, Javcav, get back out there. General might be coming back in, so let's try to get our light auxilia back. And these light auxilia can toss some javelins on in. Perfect. Yeah, they're getting mowed down. Mowed down. Down to 12 guys. Perfect. All right, let's get my men back up. Looks like my Javcav are out of Javs. So I guess I can't call them Javcav anymore. You guys are just Cav. It's alright. I'm running low on ammunition with my archers, so let's try to spend my last couple volleys here. Nope, you don't have any volleys left. You got a volley left? Yep, go. Javcav, chase down those peasants, and what do we got? 5 men left? Hopefully we have enough arrows. I don't really want to chase after him, but it looks like we might have to do that.
Enemies show their true virtue.
And that's gonna be it. They just broke. I never even have to get up to them, so good. Nice. We lost one guy. One of my Cav Auxilia passed. I don't know. Was it a peasant? Was it one of my own arrows that got him? I don't know. I don't think the enemy general got into contact with him. Victory indeed, yes. Good job, and you can continue to build your forces. Let's get... What are we doing here? Roman cavalry? Yeah, looks good. Enemy army route? Yes. And I think that we have one more tiny little... Just a 1 unit. Well, let's just bring my faction leader and some auxilia out to fight him. You guys are gonna be okay? Vicus Marcomani, you guys gonna be okay? Sure. Engage the enemy. 1 unit of warband? Oh, let's get him. All we're gonna need to do here is get them to charge at my auxilia, and then charge into the rear with my general. Unless they do... See, I know they want that spear against Cav. I know they want it. But they are danger close to my other units, so I don't know if they're going to be able to avoid them, really. So at this point, are they charging up any war cry? It doesn't look like it, so let's kind of go in there. And let's get around with my cavalry. And prepare them for a rear charge. Alright, we got them fixed. There's the charge, and they should break immediately, I would have thought. Still fighting. How is this battle not over? There we go.
Enemy.
How much did we lose? 6 guys? Alright. 6 guys it is. At least it's just Exilia. And we actually got a retinue from that? No shit. Barbarian turncoat. +1 command when fighting against barbarians. Alright. Are there any barbarians left? I don't think there are. I think I killed them all. Because the Thracians count as Greeks, right? How do I actually, like, know this? I should know this. It's, yeah, so it says Greek. I get it. Yeah, it says Greek. In parentheses underneath the building name, it says it right there. All right. Figured it out. And the Scythians, let me double check for the millionth time. Are the Scythians gone? They are. So that's, yeah, the barbarians are gone. Okay. Moving on into the next turn, we have ourselves a suitable husband for Ulpia. 34 years old, so not ideal, but 2-star general. Lentulus Libo. Publicly loyal as well, 100% increase to cost of bribe. I mean, 34 is okay, I suppose. So let's accept him, and what do we have here? So 13,000 in the treasury, not a lot. Not a lot, I'll be honest. So yeah, marriage celebrations, Publius Corvinus. So this is not the guy that just married into the family, but this is someone that's, yeah, son of the other Corvinus. I think it was the guy that just fought that battle against brigands here, and now he has another army of brigands to fight as well. So you just got married. You're only 17. Holy shit, you do not look that at all. At all. And then retinue expands. So Servius Ofella, gladiator, +1 to personal security, and +1 to the valor of your general's bodyguards. And that's going to be for the crazy eyes. Yes. Where are you, Alessia? Okay. Alright. And then Appius Flaminius, pet lion. This is my factionaire, of course. And pet lion is going to be... I like how that's part of the retinue, you know? He's like part of the gang. +1 to personal security, and +1 to command when fighting against rebels. Okay. Not going to be super useful. Any barracks that were built up? Norbert Martius has a Pantheon. That's pretty sweet. And a lot of, yeah, crop rotation in Iberia, trying to get those settlements a bit bigger so that they can contribute as well. Now, some highways built up out east as well, so that's nice. And yeah, we get the heavy onagers going in Patavium so that we can get through the walls of Rome, and Capua, I think, also has pretty intense walls. I think they have the tier 4 there. And yeah, there's Lentos Libo. Where are you? You're over here. Just outside of Vicus Venedi. You know what? That's fine. I think we got some old generals out here that are getting close. Yeah, 66 years old here, Marcellus Tuditanus. And then... Not here. Not here. There you are. Cornelius Vitruvius. And then... No, you're young. You're 22. But yeah, 58. Getting up there as well. So, Cornelius Vitruvius, I want you to continue to... place down watchtowers. Get ourselves some nice vision over this territory. And then you I think we're looking good, eh? I guess we don't need any more watchtowers in this area. Are you guys gonna be okay? You guys gonna be able to chill out? Be happy? I can get you some sewers, I guess. That can help out. Sewers, or the large temple of Jupiter as well. That can help out, reduce some corruption as well. Yeah, it's probably gonna be the way. Minor city, so... I can recruit some stuff here. But yeah, I might just want to get the large temple of Jupiter. I'll take a peek. I'll see what I want to do there. You, however, yeah, you get up here and
Forward. No
probably just build a watchtower here. And that's probably good enough. Yeah, this is the border. This is that hidden, there's like a hidden settlement up here that I could attack. Looks like they have gold, so it looks like it would be worth it to take, maybe, but you're just a general. You don't have any army with you, so you're just going to be going back to, oh, I don't know, the Dulcis Domus? Or down here to Vicus Vanidae, perhaps? And the Thracians did seem to bugger off. Kind of. I don't know. What are they? See, they pieced out with us, right? And then they're like still hanging around. And it's like, hey guys, we're chilling. Like, you guys can go defend your settlements that are being attacked by the Brudii. You know? But we're just standing on this bridge. We're not going to attack you guys. I hope they're not going up here. I don't think they can. Can they? That kind of looks like they can't get around that. So I don't think they can cross this river other than down here and then up here. But they can't get there. So I don't think they can. Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All the administrative business for this turn has been dealt with, but at this point I just have to go out. Oh, I can't actually reach these brigands in this turn. Oh, that's a little annoying. Huh. Kind of thought I was going to be able to just nip on out of this settlement and get them. Why can I only move that far? There's a road right there. I'm following a road. Huh.
Prepare for battle. Move depleted, sir.
Yeah, that's a little weird. What kind of roads do you have here? Highways. Why can't I move through this terrain? Is it considered swamp? Is it like this terrain here? Huh, that was a little confusing. Let's make sure Yeah, high taxes is fine. Alright, looking good. Well, let's keep moving on here. The Senate still have not given me an extra Senate mission since I have taken that last Thracian town, so I wonder if they've just ran out of ideas. Like, all right, that's enough. They're getting too strong. Stop giving them missions. All right, 13,000 in the treasury still. And what do we got? Oh, Agrippina. How about that? Yeah, there we go. And Orbiana. All right, Gnaeus Marinas come of age. That's a pretty cool name. He looks like he's just been told he came of age. What? 3 management, age retainer. So +1 management and +1 to personal security. How about that? Teetotal. +3 to management, 15% of penalty to popularity of the people. Okay. And mildly extravagant. -1 management, bored by races, +1 to unrest, and 5% penalty to popularity of the people. Oh, that's a 20%, just like that. Damn. Yeah, that's not good. Obsessional trainer, so +1 morale for all troops on the battlefield and 10% to movement points as well. Alright, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's not bad. Alright, I'll take it. And you're in Dam, alright. Looking good. So retinue expands. Gnaeus Marina, already looked at him. And Caiuso Sertorius, translator. So this is one of my diplomats. And Cassius Nasica. That's my faction leader, right? Or no, it's not my faction leader. It's someone else. Quartermaster. Where are you? Evenum. Okay, so yeah, got it. Quartermaster. 15% to movement points and 2% bonus to cash gain from looting. Got it. All right. Well, I hadn't really intended to use you to take a Quincum. Just because it might be a little bit too far, but it's going to be very tempting if a Quincum and a Segastica remain this under garrisoned. Is there anything here? Yeah, there's 2 units there. And then 3 units there. But they must be really beat up because they barely show up on the banner there. Interesting. Yeah, it would be very tempting to reach out and... Because I'm going to take this during that blitz, right? But should I take these 2 settlements as well? Well, it feels a bit far from my base of strength, which is going to be the 4 armies taking Italy. But since it's only going to take like a turn or 2 to accomplish that, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take Segestica. You know, I can just nip on right on over with my boats just to reinforce that. Then what about a Quincum? See, a Quincum, I feel like the Brutii are going to be on a Quincum pretty quickly. So I don't know how confident I am of reaching out with this army and taking a Quincum, although there's really not much for walls here, so it would be easy to take, but then, yeah, harder to defend, right? Yeah, I'm not confident in that idea. Large stone walls here in Segestica. Yeah, but if I have enough heavy onagers floating around, which I can build right here in Patavium, might not be that bad. Now we can come down and catch these brigands, but they are a mystery to us. We don't know what they have, so let's come down here.
Prepare for battle.
Is it going to be a bridge battle? Well, they have peasants, 2 warbands, so 2 peasants, 2 warbands, barbarian cavalry, and naked fanatics. It should not be a river battle. I don't think they hold the bridge.
Engage the enemy.
And if they do, we have archers, and they don't. So it's going to be fine either way. Well, we did start this battle on the downhill slope all the way down there. We have come all the way around to find ourselves at first on even footing, and then now we have a height advantage, which is pretty nice. I imagine my archers... Well, you're going to be in range right now? No, not quite. All right. So we have to move our archers up just a little bit before we are in range. But then we should start to be able to put the hurt down on them relatively soon. Now that I have 2 units of Archer Auxilia targeting 1 unit of Warband, they are dropping pretty quickly. How about the 1 unit that's being attacked by 1 unit of Archers? They've also lost 10 men so far, so that's a considerable amount of damage, actually. That's more than I thought. Yeah, I think that height advantage is giving us a bit of a boost here, because, I mean, their shields are facing us, so I'm a little surprised that we're getting this much damage in. Yeah, down to 54 men already. Jeez, oh Pete. Now, this unit of Cav here is Barbarian Cavalry. It's not going to be like a general unit. So I imagine they're going to be fast enough to catch my Jav Cav if I'm not careful. So I'm going to try to be careful. Let's see if that works. And frankly, I wouldn't mind it if I could get my archers in range of those Naked Fanatics, because that's their most dangerous unit, and that's the unit that I can deal the most damage to with my archers. Now the enemy might be making a move now that these peasants have been broken, and warbands seem like they want to come in after my Jav Cav, so let's go ahead and just bring them back. And these Snake Fanatics, they are making a charge after my javelins. Let's get my javelins back here. And then yeah, just keep tossing javelins at those warband there. Those Naked Fanatics did break. Let's just keep going back here. And yeah, they're broken. Let's send the general after those warband. And let's send these Cav Auxilia after these warband as well. Clean up those units. Peasants, they think they want to be brave. I think not. Naked Fanatics just got wiped off the face of this earth. Yeah, they are gone. And that's gonna be it. We just shot the Barbarian Cav to death.
Full of fear, and now they
and the battle, we lost 0 men, no shit. Okay, well, how about that? How about that?
Victory!
Alright, let me guess. It's gonna take you 2 turns to get back to Batava Fedorum? Probably, yeah.
March!
That would be my guess. And are you still training stuff up here? Yes, you are. Alright. Soon, I mean not soon, but someday we will have an army up here ready to go somewhere. Yeah, we're building one. I don't know if you're going to lead it. You're getting pretty old, but someone's going to be leading this army. And it will be nice to have just have another force able to reinforce somewhere. In fact, are you building up? Kind of. Yeah, that's the army. These are the forces that are going to be for this army here, in addition to...
General!
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine, I suppose. And that's going to be like my last force that's being built up in my like western provinces that needs to be brought east. So I think I want them out here. This is the place that kind of feels the weakest. is this province of Pripyat. Here is going to be okay, I think. Once we take, you know, Lovosic, it's going to be okay, I think. But here, I don't know, like, sure, having a couple armies is fine, but Vicus Venediae can't recruit early legionaries. So we're a little bit limited to what we can do out here. I can get early legionaries here in Domus Losis Domus. You know, but yeah, if the Brudii come down hard on this province, it could be a little bit tricky. Now, they don't own Campus Scythii. And they don't own this either, this settlement either. So they might not come up here just because there's 2 Thracian territories between me and them. So they might just kind of go west and focus on, you know, if I've taken Segestiga or Lovosic or something, they might just do that. They might not come up here. That would be nice. I would like that. Then if that were the case, sure, I can continue to leave an army, just, you know, keep an eye on the Thracians. It seems like a waste, but they have a lot of stuff here that, you know, they probably want their settlement back, right? So that's fine. And then just having another army just to keep an eye on Campus Scythii. Again, keeping 2 armies here. It doesn't feel great, but that's what I get for following the Senate's orders. I expanded my borders, and now I'm in a position where I need to keep 2 armies just to keep this settlement safe, even if I'm not being pressed by the Brudii. Now, luckily, I have 3 armies here, so that means that I can bring 1 at least somewhere else, somewhere west, right? This could be an opportunity, you know, for instance, if the Brudii kind of leave everything going west to attack me, I might be able to sneak an army in. Like, hey, they might not want to go through Thracian territory to attack me, but I don't have the same scruples. I can just go down here across this bridge and attack Porolisium, if it's left open to me. Stone walls, so tier 3, no big deal, right? No big deal. Well, I mean, I don't have any artillery up here, I don't think, but still, I can siege it out if I have a turn to do so, right? And then, yeah, maybe even this place as well, Campus Lazy Guess, yeah, maybe. We'll see, maybe. Now, the Thracians are asking for trade rights, and I'm inclined to offer them those trade rights. The Senate has not given me another mission since I took that last Thracian settlement, so, yeah, sure, let's make some more money. I don't know how much more money, but I do border them at least with that one province settlement, so yeah, I guess, yeah, let's do that. Guess I could have asked for money, but meh. What do is it noticeable? I mean, profits 10,000, projected treasury 21,000. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, they keep having this many armies around us, so it's like, are you really? Like, do you really want peace? Let's plop down a watchtower so we can move you out of the swamp. And then, yeah, you can keep moving and grooving. Yeah, maybe plop down another watchtower down here. It's going to take you forever to get down there, but that's okay. Alright, yeah, 11,000. We've been at around like 13, 12, 11,000. Flash Flood, Libya. Okay, this isn't us. Yeah. It didn't destroy anything, did it, though? Let's see. Yeah, nothing. No buildings, no citizens, no soldiers, nothing. Alright. Seems like they... Man, I don't know if you're watching my Egypt campaign, but I know it happened forever ago, like a year ago, but... Yeah, I got a flash flood that killed 2 of my generals out, like way out in Arabia. I was taking Damantha, and I lost 2 generals to a flash flood. Like, they took forever to get there. They were like marching there from Petra, and then they just both died in a flash flood. I was like, what? What? And that was an early game too. You know, I was like, you know, losing 2 generals was like, damn, that sucked. That sucked. And then I lost like another one in an earthquake or some shit. Egypt's campaign really brutalized me when it came to losing generals, but this campaign, you know, I didn't do too much better when it came to losing generals in battles too, so it's been a learning experience. Alright, we got a lot of news here. Titus Marina died. Regnum Marcomanni, natural causes. That was the general that was Who was it?
General.
I think it was the guy leading this little detachment. Yeah, I think that's who it was. Helena, new family member. Placus Ogunius, coming of age. Alright, 1 star, 1 management. Yeah, I'll take it, tutor. +1 management. You're over here in Asuka. Social drinker, discreet. Let's see, keeps his, what is this? Secrets known to this man have a habit of staying secret. He hoards secrets and keeps his tongue locked behind his teeth. Improves the chances of getting elected to senatorial offices. Oh, okay, interesting. An obsessional trainer as well, +1 morale for all troops on the battlefield and 10% to movement points. I'll take it. Yeah. He shows promise. And Alepida has died. Must be one of the wives. And then, yeah, we've already looked at Placus Ogunius, Cassius Nasica, Priest of Sirius, +1 to management and +1 to farming output. And that's going to be you and Evenum. Alright, yeah, I'll take it. That's fine. And I'm starting to build more boats now, finally. Yeah, seems to be time to do that. Yep, got some large temples of Jupiter and then some awesome temples of Jupiter. And I built the stone walls out in Vicus Vanidae, my easternmost province. That felt good to get that out of the way as well. So if the Brutii did come for us, or the Thracians for that matter, we'll be ready. Yeah, we get some stone walls there. But we have like a little barbarian settlement inside, which is cute. Like, love that. Oh, damn. I've been worried about this. Brigands on Britain. Oh, no. I have nothing. God, it's like a big army, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8? 1, 2, 4. Yeah, okay. I mean, I have you, Marcus Aemilius. You're just kind of hanging out. You're only 27, man. I feel like you've been here forever, but no. Yeah, 3 stars. That's good. Is there anything to hire here?
Move out.
2 barbarian mercenaries? That's not going to be enough. Damn. Honestly, I feel like I just have to train some stuff out here in Britain. Tara does have the experience upgrades. So I should probably do that here in Tara. I haven't been using it. I kept it just because it's nice to have that experience. But then, yeah, I never really, like, used it. So now this is a good excuse to use Tara to build some stuff. Yeah, I may as well. I don't know if I want... I mean, I don't have to build a full stack to beat this, I hope, but... Let's see, what's the deal? Do you have... What's your temple? I think you have Jupiter. Yeah, you have Jupiter, but then these places... You have... You also have Jupiter, but then you have the other one, right? What's your deal? You also have Andrasta, but you have the first tier Andrasta. What can I train here? Cav, Spears, Light Auxilia. Okay, so no, I can get archers in Londinium, I imagine. No, I can't. Can I get archers here? I can? Okay, I can't do that. Alright, let's get early legionaries and archers out here in Tara. And then let's get spears and javelins in Deva. And then cav and dogs in Londinium, perhaps? Maybe? Yeah, we'll put something together. And we can march out and take those brigands. And then I can just send that army out east. In fact, I can start bringing up this navy.
Aye, Captain.
I mean, it's too early to do so. I don't need it now. I don't know. I guess I can bring them up. There's no pirates to kill, and this navy's like way too big for this job. You know, and I sent 4 biremes out. You know, they're down here. This is from the North Sea. These 4 biremes. So, should I just send more of them?
Aye, Captain.
I should definitely leave some stuff because, yeah, pirate ships do show up. And for instances like this, where I'm going to be transporting an army eventually, I can bring it out here and dump it off here, and I'll be able to do something over here. So that is nice. It's a nice thing to have boats for, but how many? I have 3 triremes and 4 biremes. So maybe, I don't know, keep 2 triremes and 2 biremes,
Aye, Captain.
and then just send these 3.
Captain. Set sail.
Yeah.
No more moves,
Yeah, why not? Why not do that? And then, yeah, just send you guys up here, and you can just hang out in the dock of Londinium until you're needed.
No more moves, sir. Orders.
And would you believe it, there's more brigands for us to kill. I know, shocking. I can't believe it myself. Oh, and there's more. Yeah, there's more. There, we get to kill them too someday. But for now, for today, we get to kill these ones. What do we know about them? Warband and 2 mystery units. How original.
Attack. Victory.
2 warband and some peasants. Alright, probably didn't need to bring the full stack over, but I'm bringing the thunder. In this battle, we've had to march just right on straight uphill at them, but it's gonna be okay. They don't have much, and I have a lot. It's one of those situations where you just think, you know, like if this is all you had, and then like this marches up to face you, would you really just stand? You know, would you be like, let's hold our ground, man. Let's fight to the death. It's just, you know, like there's morale in this game. And one of the things that causes morale drops in units is if there's a lot of enemy units nearby a unit, then there's a morale drop for each unit, just for being next to them. And this has been going back to Shogun 1. So you get these like really good, you know, organic, you know, logical morale features in this game. And you would just think that could be applied to like the strategy map as well. You know, like why is that just a tactical map thing, like a battle map thing? Why can't morale based on the size of an army compared to another army also boil down to the strategy map? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that armies will retreat, you know, if they see the balance of power is, you know, not in their favor. I understand that. But wouldn't it have been pretty nice if armies just like straight up like dissolved and you didn't have to fight them? Especially for brigands, like maybe not for other factions' armies, but for brigands, wouldn't that have been a really nice thing to put in if you march up with a big enough army and then the brigand army is like, never mind, we messed up. You know, like that would have been a really nice thing. Like, that unit of warband right there, the dead one that's just laying in the grass, they stood and took arrows to the face to the last man. The last man! He watched 119 men get slaughtered by arrows, just as these peasants are. And he was like, no, I believe in this cause. I'm gonna stand here and fucking fight. Just like, why? So, it's my understanding... Okay, I actually don't know. I'm really curious. Like, was this solved in Medieval 2? Because I understand brigand armies still exist in Medieval 2, correct? But is it this bad? Because I feel like in the first 3 games, you know, the Total War franchise that I've been playing, look at this peasant. There's 2 guys left. They stood to the left. There's peasants. They have a morale of nothing, and they just stood until they died. For what? Why did they do that? It's immersion breaking, isn't it? Like it's just like what is this? Oh, it's computer. I get it. It's like playing StarCraft again, you know? It's just like no morale. It's like it doesn't exist. What was I saying though? Yeah, Medieval 2. So like, yeah, in the first 3 games of the Total War franchise, it seems like Creative Assembly has done a pretty good job at not making the worst thing in one game, like, you know, making sure that doesn't carry over to the next game. You know, like the worst thing in Shogun is the bridge battles. So they really solved that in Medieval 1. Very much so. They made it so that, you know, the bridges, like, it depends on which which direction you're attacking from. So, you know, if you attack a province from one direction, doesn't mean you're going to have to fight over a bridge in the other direction it does. So yeah, and there's also like many bridges. Look at this guy, they're still fighting. But yeah, there's a lot of bridge battles in Medieval 1 that have multiple bridges. Unlike in Shogun 1, there's only one map that has multiple bridges. So like a lot of effort went into making sure that the worst thing in Shogun 1 it wasn't the worst thing. Are you guys out of arrows? Jesus Christ. Alright guys, javelins. So I'm just curious, like, it's one thing to make a mistake once and say, like, alright, that sucked, let's not do that again. But if there's brigands in Medieval 2 and it's as bad as this, look, I'm not mad that there's brigands in this game. Fine, make brigands, but, you know, do it in a way that's fun, you know, or not, at least not, if not fun, then at least, like, you know, a challenge that's something to, consider and think about. Like, gosh, there's how many people are left in this? 29 people. Is this entire army just gonna die to the last man? Is that what's gonna happen here? Oh god, let's bring up my bloody skirmishers. Just using up all of my ammo on these guys. Yeah. What was I saying? Was I saying something important? Probably not. Yeah, in Medieval 2, I really hope that it's like not, you know, fine, do a brigand army, make rebel armies, I don't care, but make it not like this. Not like this, please. Light Auxilia, please exterminate these warband. Just get rid of them, get them out of the way. There you go. Finally they broke. Finally they broke. Lossio, guys. Good job. Good job, Army. Oh, look at the time. Wow, I was having so much fun killing brigands that I wasn't paying attention to the time. So that's gonna be that for that. Yeah. It was an episode. But I got some stuff done. I know I keep saying this, but I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to having an army, or having enough armies where I feel like I'm going to be confident to take on the Senate and the Scipii and the Brutii. So let's take an inventory. The fourth army, like the fourth field army that we're working on to blitz Italy. How's that fourth army coming? We're just waiting on. So we have our cav. We're just waiting on a unit of war dogs.
Imperator, General. Orders, sir.
Do we have any javelins anywhere? Javelins. Alright, I guess these javelins can come down here. And they could be a part of that army. So the fourth army is like it's almost there. It's almost there. The army in Euvanum, it's working on it. What am I missing? I'm missing melee cav, so I'd have to bring that up from Araminum. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some like decent legionary cav up here, or at least Roman cav. So we'll see what I can do about that. But this is like close, right? And I am training some legionaries here to bring down to Batavium, because Batavium is the one place. So like there's gonna be the 4 armies blitzing Italy, right? But then I do want to have a standing army in Batavium and Euvanum. The Euvanum army is like pretty close. Batavium is the furthest off. All I have here is the archers. And Batavium is so busy building artillery right now that I had to bring the archers from out west somewhere. So I'm training legionaries from Euvanum to bring down to Batavium. And that means that the cavs are going to have to be brought up from Araminum as well. Unless I can bring cav in from Lugdunum, I can do that. I am training cav in Lugdunum, so that's another option. It feels like it shouldn't take that long, but I think that that's going to be it. Like, I think that once that army is settled in Batavium, yeah, then be ready to take Segestica. I'm talking myself into it. I'm talking myself into including Segestica in the siege, not the turn 1 blitz. against the Romans. Yeah, I think Lovosic, Segesica, Italy, and Carolus will be all a part of that Phase 1 siege. It's going to be interesting because a lot of my trade is with the Roman factions, like the vast majority of the trade, considering that they own most of the territory. So I imagine that it's going to be very important that I, that I take enough settlements in that first turn blitz, because the money, the income that I'm going to be making from the settlements is going to have to account for all of the money that I'm losing from not trading with the other Romans. I wonder how much of an issue that would become. Yeah, I don't know, but at least in this game, ports can trade with other friendly ports, unlike Medieval 1. I do like that about this game. Makes perfect sense, right? So yeah, maybe it won't be that much of an issue, but I do wonder. I'm curious what that financial hit will be. Is this one of those situations where it's just better to save up money before the Civil War? Seems smart, but I don't think I'm going to be waiting that long. I mean, and I'm spending money as fast as I get it. So I think that in my case, I'm going to, do my damage and then hope that I'm able to take enough to make money off of. Even though Sicily would not be a part of my turn 1 blitz, it will be part of my, 5-turn blitz. It'll be within that first 5 turns. And this also, I think, will give me money. I think there'll be enough, I think Sicily makes money, I think. So, I mean, if it's anything like history, then yeah, it should be making money. But that is all going to have to wait until next time. Before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider becoming a member to the channel, or subscribing, liking, and sharing. It all helps immensely. Until next time, this has been Conasip playing Rome Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.